Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
You're audible and as well as your screen also in presentation.
yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, sir.
So, good morning to one and all. Good morning, sir. Myself, Srikanth. So, today I'm going to present the topic about Internet of Things, about information security. So, in my agenda, I'm going to place what is meant by information security and how this field is related to IoT and what are the challenges in it and various security issues and measurements. So, how to avoid these things and what are the concerns we are placing over here. These all the things will be described over in my agenda. So coming to the first, information security. What is meant by information security? It tells you about securing the information from unauthorized access, and basically it prevents unauthorized access and also disclosure of information, modification and inspection of information. These all the things will be takes place over here. So this information security will have the integrity of the data and data use, availability, disclosure of information, so networks, about the computers to protect these all the things will be happened, the breach, I mean to say, about whatever the data which you are placing over the internet, mainly the risk management will be more over here, so that confidentiality and destruction and modification and fabrication, whatever it might be, this information security plays a vital role in everywhere, not only in IoT, in everywhere it plays a vital role. Coming to IoT, we should see not like a basic device or a something. So here you know that need of security in IoT is mostly a big boom, I can say. Why? Because if you go for any IoT device, they always says there is no security in that, or simply they will say that there is no security. Maybe they may conceptually better, but they may say that they are having some security issues. So how we can defeat the security? There are some challenges in over here. So that we will discuss today in this in our class. So security in IoT is nothing but, so it's an act of securing Internet of Things. So that means what are the IoT devices that are there, so we are going to secure those devices along with the networks, so that you know that some if you are saying that some number of clients are there that we are calling it as a proxies, so those proxies are connected with interconnected with another proxies. Within the network we have multiple networks also, such we can say sub proxy or some other things, right? So those for proxies, or we can say some IoT devices such as maybe mobile, such as maybe any other devices in that relates to IoT, so that we need to provide some security over there. And we can say this is a method of protection that can be secured to secure the interconnected devices based upon the network. So and it relates, the security is related to hardware, software and connectivity, as we can see in this diagram, where the hardware and software and these are all needed to be secure for IoT objects to work effectively. And without the security of IoT, any connected object, we can say like from refrigerators or manufacturing bots, that can be hacked very easily, that we know already. So if once hacker gains this control over him, then we cannot able to modify the objects. See, because he will modify the functionality of the particular object, and he is going to steal the user data, user digital data. This is what it is going to happen. So and what about the Internet of Things, about the security? Today we will learn, this is a major important thing, what is IoT security. So it comprises protecting the internet enabled devices that connects on wireless networks. As we know that so whatever the devices that we are having enabled with internet, that are connected over the wireless networks. And the IoT security is a safety component that is tied up with Internet of Things, and it used to protect various devices and networks against cyber crimes. So generally, we know that so many cyber crimes will be there. In that cyber crimes, so we need to provide some security against these cyber crimes. We need to protect the networks along with the IoT devices. And whatever the data that is collected from IoT sensors that contains a large amount of private information, such as ideas, or we can say like your private information that might be passed through sensors, So such as some different types of data collection, maybe we can call it as a big data, that has to be provide some security through IoT. I mean to say, we need to provide some security and through IoT. So there are two key issues we need to see here over the privacy and the security. So these three need attention when it comes to IoT security, because whenever we say in IoT there is a less security, then how can we provide security over there? So what type of things may happen? Suppose if you are giving some third party access, it should be happens means obviously maybe some proxy maybe within the network, maybe it was dropping. So at that time it used to be some problems may occur, that maybe some, we can say, privacy may be less or privacy may be totally not available. So these are the issues which we present over in the Internet of IoT, uh, Internet of Things. So this Internet of Things security, basically this is the technology which safeguards the whatever the connected device that are there in the network, along with the network that is present over it. So here we are it involves in adding internet connectivity to the system of interrelated computing devices, because IoT means the simply we can call it as it is a interrelated computing devices, and digital machines, objects, and animals or people. These things are related to this IoT, because everywhere, see how animals can be connected. You may say that, sir, how animals may be connected? So like when you say animals can be connected, suppose if you take a cow, so they are making some device over the cow, and they are telling that they are taking the milk, so or they are monitoring the cow. So in this way, the animal might be plays a vital role in the IoT, as that means the IoT that makes place over the cow. So it impacts over it. So like that, people. So we nowadays we are seeing so many things the car without the without the people, the car is moving, or with the suppose the people is there, blind sticks. So for the blind stick, they are interconnecting the IoT technology. So these are all the things that are added over this IoT. And whatever we say that there is an IoT, so simply we can call it as a thing. So each thing is provided a unique identifier. We can automatically identify each person or each animal or each object, whatever the digital machine that might be. It automatically transfer the data over the network. This is what actually the IoT. And it allows the devices to connect to the internet and opens them up to number of series vulnerabilities if they are not properly protected. You know, because if you are allowing some number of devices to connect to the internet, so obviously there are so many vulnerabilities will be there, because that whatever you are allowing, that may not be trusted one, but you are allowing it. That means you yourself allowing means there may be some vulnerabilities you need to face over that, right? So that should be protected manner. That means authentication must be there, or some authorization must be there, that some these things should be confidentiality will be there. So these all the things should be maintained, and then you can access means it may be not having some that much serious vulnerabilities, we can say, right? And if you see here, these are the IoT characteristics where we are having different categories like web application and mobile application. And if you see the cloud, and if you see the communication over it, and if you see over the gateways, over the IoT sensor and actuators and data types, these all the things if you see, so there is characteristic is displays over each and every platform. So if you see here, web and mobile application, if you see, there are closed and open platforms are available, and variable policies between the mobiles and web applications. And you can see throughout the mobile application and web application, high data volume will be there. You need to handle high volume of data. So there are some security and weakness and targets over the web and mobile application also. So there is a code and lack of penetrating testing. That means in the mobile we may have some penetrating testing over it, there may be lack of it. And some weak users or third party authentication might be there. So these all the things might be you can see over while securing the information over the Internet of Things. So the communication, if you takes place, yeah, there are some, we can call it as insecure communication. That means if you see there, what are the characteristics it displays over IoT is 2G, 3G, LTE, or 5G. These are all the things, Zigbee, mesh. These are all things we know. So in this, there are some security weakness and targets are available that we can see here in secure communications. And coming to the gateways and smart bridges, if you see, there are policy managements are there, poor hardware design is there. So these all the things are weakness and targets over here. And coming to the here the security issues or the challenges, IoT is always an issuing a concern, just like the security issues over the ICT systems. Yeah, you know already the ICT system. That means whatever internet enabled things are there. So everywhere they are using this IoT. So it's like comparing the whatever communication technologies that we are using nowadays. So it's like same the issues that will be arise over the IoT also. So they are comparing here. And one more thing, if you consider the IoT, so most of the things that you are considering over certain entities or ownership characteristics, or it makes security concerns over IoT systems. So that may be more significant when comparing to ICT, right? So often it is a more tricky to deal with the existing documents that are processed over the dominant ICT systems. And if you see here, I am comparing over here, like I am just showing over here the application domains that are placed over here in IoT and IoT architecture. We can see in comparing the application layer and network layer and perception layer. So there are different types of sensors and IP enabled things, like networks, so 2G, 3G, 4G, or Zigbee. These all the things, these are the IoT architecture that plays a important role in the security also. Why? Because whatever the network you are using, or whatever the application you are using, and whatever the perception you are taking from sensors, or whatever GPS, or whatever the RFID tags, that might be plays a vital role, these architecture. And along with that, to what you are applying, I mean to say which application domain you are applying, that is also plays a vital role over the internet of things. Because if you apply for smart agriculture, it may vary from one domain to another domain when you apply some actuator functions, or network layer, or application layer. This is what I want to uh, tell you. Remember these things while you are applying some security to various domains. So you can see here what I am telling you now, where if you are going for suppose internet of things, if you see here, it is smart healthcare, which you can see, and smart transportation, which I am denoting now here, and smart home, and smart supply chain, smart grid, smart manufacturing, smart city, smart wearables, smart agriculture. So various protocols that are applied when you see various domains, right? The same applications are not applying to various domains. The different applications are applied to various domains when you see in different ways, right? So that means we are operating not only the same things, we have multiple things over and various domains when you apply this internet of things and its protocols also. This is one good thing where you can see like whereabouts clock. This was discovered by Wesley. This is a whereabouts clock, which you can call it as a geolocation tracker. So if you see in this figure, where two ideals, I mean to say, this is a father and a mother, if you say. So some child is there, some children, he want to know she want to know that where his father and where his mother is to be in certain this time clock. I mean to say the where location tracker, we can call it as. This is like we can call it as what we can say. mm, some whereabouts clock, we can call it as, or we can call as a Wesley clock. Okay, Wesley clock. So they'll be having two hands given at the time of the day. The clock will say that like location from home, and about the school or the parents or whatever it might be. She need to know her father, where her father is there, and where her mother is there. If you see this arrow mark represents work. So this arrow mark represents home, lessons. So like that we have different way, different school. So these where he was, we can say shop, or we can say like that, we have different ways. So based upon this clock, he can know. This is also one type of IoT where it is working on Raspberry Pi. This location clock will be running on Raspberry Mini Pi, Raspberry Pi mini computer, with the help of MQTT broker. By using this MQTT broker, we send some messages to routing messages to that MQTT internet protocol. So then the phone sends a message to the broker at any time. So through GPS, it tracks through the mobile app. So then the Raspberry Pi to run a servo motor, and the clock will rotate here using that location, and using node-RED programming, it can be automate without writing any code. This is what it is going to do. That example why I'm considering means, here they are considered the whereabouts and RFID tagged based here. So there is a nuclear warhead. If you go through it, if it is exposed based upon the RFID tagged or tracked or whereabouts, I mean to say security clocks. So the security system might be hacked if you are using this RFID tagged and whereabouts yeah, near the nuclear warhead. Here they are telling that the nuclear warhead might not be exposed through whereabouts or RFID tagged over the internet. Then if the system security is hacked, this is in this way the application might be applied to this nuclear warheads also. Okay, and here at personally might be a person or a object. The privacy at that particular location is a most concerning issue here. So number of devices to be managed will add more complexity to the existing security measurements. And there is no doubt this internet of things will makes a new security challenges in cryptographic security along with credentialing, identifying the management. So we have some disadvantaged countries also says that like China, they may says that there is a security concern due to they have more data, maybe data breach might be there. That means exposing of their data through like United States or some other countries. Why? Because when you evaluating some potential new security threats over the broad implementation of internet of things, so we may say here there are different connected IoT systems such as power grid, transportation, water supply system, oil gas pipelines, third parties, and wherever we say, so there will be losing information throughout that unit like that. So we may lose some information. So in that way the China was feeling if you are exposing, it might be a like the security is not available in the internet of things like that, they may say, right? So there may be showing like a disadvantage. There is called we can see the over here the United States such have a programs like ASC, which is called Army Signal Command. It will provide some support for war fighting commands to win the information war. This is what they are having. They can easily support the war fighting command. Due to this reason, the China is not accepting the program which you are having here, like some security threats. So, and one more thing, ASC it directly activates of some 15,000 soldiers, 15,000 soldiers and civilians in more than a dozen nations around the world. And if you see over here, uh, on the other hand, you can see here the capable of executing force projection mission through its integrated uh, worldwide theater tactical information assets. So on the other hand, developed countries like are accusing that underdeveloped countries like they are hacking their own systems here. And at last, if you see, these are the IoT security issues: access control, authentication, non-reputation, data confidentiality, communication security, data integrity, and availability and privacy. So these are the different types of security issues which you see in general. So the main concept over here is not this one. Why? Because these are already security issues which you see in the starting of IoT, right? So we can compare this with along with ICTs. So here some specific security issues that are more concerned with IoT application scenarios where the RFID scenario they have considered as an example for all the IoT systems. So this is the main important topic which I need to tell you here is that this one. So this is what security challenges that we need to see. Without having these things, we need to help all those things. So I mean to say we need to have these challenges in our IoT security system like skimming, avast dropping, sniffing, or a data tampering, or spoofing, or cloning. These are all the things. Skimming in the sense without the knowledge or acknowledgement of the tag, the data may be reading directly. And coming to the avast dropping, it may be unauthorized listening or intercepting that man in the middle attack, which we are calling it as. And coming to the data tampering, it's an unauthorizedly erasing the data that makes the device useless and changing the data over it. And coming to the spoofing, it duplicates the device data and transmits to the receiver like it is a legitimate source. And cloning, it duplicates the data from one device to another device, which you call it as a cloning. And here the malicious code, which you say that insertion of executable code like virus to corrupt the enterprise system, and denial of accessing the service, which you have say multiple devices are specially designed over the devices and overwhelm the capacity, rendering the system into inoperative. And killing, physical or electronic destruction of these devices downstream users of its data. And jamming in the sense, already the electronic devices sometimes it will stop the receiver's functionality. And shielding in the sense the mechanical devices which used to go stopping the reading of a device or the tags of RFID. So these all the things make some issues, or the capacity of the device will diverse the networking conditions, along with some few challenges of the face the development of IoT. In addition to the traditional ICT security issues which you have seen, non-reputation, data confidentiality, these are all the things. So especially the advanced stages of IoT development. So we have seen the 10 security issues up to now, like sniffing, spoofing. These all the things we have listed above, and number of devices involved to make the design and deployment. The security solutions are more complex when you check these security issues. And if you go for heterogeneous systems or distributed networks, passing the security credentials and translating to it, and end-to-end security functionalities will be having across difficult missions across the four categories of the network. That is, we will be discussing in further classes like long, short range, or wireless, or long, short wireless network across our Internet of Everything. So the cryptographic suits were designed the expectation that significant source would be available. This is what the solution we might have different things, joining and leaving of devices in IoT systems, grouping of mobile device over the dynamic network, and adding some complexity over the authentication and authorization process. So these are the security protocols we'll have in the candidate solutions in 6LoWPAN and Core IoT. As I shown you previously, the protocols that are implemented over different types of application domains. Hmm, application domains. So the last one, which we have a different types of protocol, the internet key exchange and host identity protocol and transport layer protocol. This plays a vital role in the IoT security. Why? Because using these protocols we can have a low power networks, or the datagram oriented variant which we doesn't have a connection less. And we have TCP, like a transport layer security, in the sense we have a datagram oriented. And we are providing some IP security things in the mobility and multi-homing. All these things will plays a major role over our information security. And there are two protocols, EAP and PANA, which will plays a major role: extensible authentication protocol, or protocol for carrying authentication for network access. So these are the things which you have references, which I make over here. What I have taken the data from over the textbook and along with the URLs. Thank you. Sir.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, scholars, any doubts regarding this topic?
No doubt, sir.
Yeah, okay. Naveen, sir, you can start sharing your presentation, sir.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Srikant, sir, kindly share your presentation of GCI, sir. Just to remind you.
Okay,
Srikant, sir.
sir. Here also. Maybe because I'll mute this.